Hey everybody, and welcome to another deep dive. Today we are taking a look at an avalanche adventure.
Ooh, exciting.
Yeah, so this is a children's story about these two characters named Max and Ruby, and they love to snowboard.
Sounds so fun.
It does sound fun. And this is going to give us a really great opportunity to talk about avalanches. You hear about them, but what exactly are they? What causes them? What should you do if you're ever caught in one?
Well, lucky for us, this story's got all that.
Exactly.
We can look at the story and then we can use our brains to learn a little bit about the real science behind it.
Yeah, and how to stay safe if you're ever up in the mountains.
Definitely.
All right, so the story begins with Max and Ruby. They're at the top of Snowcap Mountain, and it's the tallest peak.
Wow.
Yeah, and Max, he loves to take risks. He wants to snowboard down the steepest slopes. He's like, come on, let's go.
Brave little guy.
He is. But Ruby, she's a little bit more cautious. She's like, wait a minute, I've heard about avalanches on Snowcap Mountain. And Max is like, those are just stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't really believe in avalanche warnings. So they're all set to go. They're at the top of the mountain. They're going to start snowboarding down, and all of a sudden, boom!
Uh-oh.
The ground starts to shake.
Mm.
There's this loud roar echoing through the air. It's an avalanche.
An avalanche is basically like a giant wave of snow that can rush down a mountainside. Imagine like all this fluffy snow that you love to play and turning into this like powerful, fast-moving river.
Wow.
Yeah, they can be really scary.
That's kind of how it's described in the story, too, like this massive
Yeah.
wall of white rushing toward them.
Yeah, and they can move really fast, too, like
Yeah.
faster than you can run. That's why it's so important to be careful when you're in the mountains.
So they have to think fast.
Yeah.
What do they do?
Well, thankfully, Ruby remembers something really important. She had heard about avalanches before, and she knows that trees and rocks can actually help slow down an avalanche. They basically act like obstacles in the snow's path.
That's good.
Yeah, she's a smart cookie.
She yells to Max, we got to find some trees. And they both swerve their snowboards. And they're zigzagging down the slope toward this clump of like these really sturdy trees.
Like a little forest.
Yeah, and they manage to duck behind the trees just as the avalanche thunders past them.
Ew, that was close.
Yeah, they were really lucky.
It's amazing how those dense trees can act like a shield, almost protecting you from the force of all that snow.
Like a little snow fort.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're safe.
Yeah.
But wow, what an adventure.
Yeah, Max definitely learned his lesson, I bet.
He did. He admitted that he was wrong to ignore the avalanche warnings, and he promised to listen to Ruby from now on.
Good, because she saved their lives.
Yeah.
Always listen to those safety warnings, especially when you're up in the mountains. It's important to remember that even though the snow looks soft and fluffy, it can be really powerful and unpredictable, just like that avalanche.
And you know what? After the avalanche, Ruby, she tells Max that the loudest sound wasn't the snow rushing down the mountain. It was her own heart pounding.
I bet. Can you imagine?
It's like thump, 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 thump.
But that shows how important it is to stay calm in an emergency. Ruby did a great job thinking clearly and getting them to safety.
She was the hero.
She was.
So yeah, this deep dive today shows us that even a fun day of snowboarding can turn into a pretty wild adventure.
Definitely. It's always best to be prepared and follow safety rules when you're exploring the great outdoors. You never know what might happen.
So be sure to check those avalanche warnings.
Always. Remember, have fun, but also respect nature's power.
All right, well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into an avalanche adventure.
And keep exploring and stay curious.
See you next time.